Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to the Arabic alphabet course. Today we'll be doing lesson number 15. So let's begin. Now we had previously talked about Arabic syllables. So today we'll be doing a little bit more on them. We are going to discuss about rare syllables in this video. But before that we have to look behind and get to know another symbol in the Arabic alphabets. This symbol is a Shadda symbol. Now what is a Shadda symbol? A Shadda symbol is a symbol that comes between two consecutive syllables. It's sort of a bridge to two syllables. So, for example, sometimes there are two consecutive letters in a word, like there's Jim and another Jim. When this happens, we write the repeating letter only once. So we write only one Jim and then put this special symbol on top of it. We write the Jim only once and we put this symbol on top of it. This symbol is called Shadda. You can see this symbol over here. This one is called Shadda. Now what does Shadda do? It joins two syllables. In the previous video we have learned about syllable 3, right? So we learned about the Sukun symbol. This means Sukun symbol plus Fatha or whatever other. Shadda is Sukun symbol, alright, plus another kind of symbol. Whether it's Fatha or Kasra or Dhamma, it doesn't matter. Sukun symbol plus another symbol. So basically what this is it's type 3, syllable type 3 plus syllable type 1. Can't you see it? See, first it is Hajj. This is Hajj. Till here it's syllable type 3. But when this Shadda comes and makes it Fatha, it's Ja. Hajja. This is syllable type 3 and syllable type 1. So Shadda is sort of a bridge. It connects syllable type 3 to syllable type 1. This is why Shadda is known as a bridge symbol. It's also called the bridge symbol because it connects syllable type 3 and syllable type 1. As we can see in the example here, it is Ha Fatha till here syllable type 1. But then Jim comes and with them there is a sukun. So Hajj. Now it's syllable type 3. Till now Hajj is syllable type 3. But when we add the fatha on top of it or any other vowel, it becomes syllable type 1. So it's syllable type 3 plus syllable type 1. This is what Shadda happens. This is what happens in a Shadda. It's syllable type 3 and syllable type 1. So here are some more information. Shadda indicates the end of syllable type 3 and the beginning of some other syllable. It doesn't always have to be syllable type 1. Although that's the easiest, Shadda can also have syllable type 2. For example, in this case, there is a ta and then there is ba. But then there is alif also, right? So it's ta, ba and alif. So here we can see that when Shadda comes, it becomes syllable type 2. It doesn't always have to be syllable type 1. It can sometimes be syllable type 2 as well. So we see that tab, ta fatha ba sukun, tab. But then ba alif becomes ba. So this means tabba. So this is a combination of syllable type 3 and type 2. So Shadda indicates the ending of syllable type 3 and the beginning of some other syllable, whether that's syllable type 1 or 2. Therefore, you will never see it in the middle of a syllable. It is always between two syllables, which is why it's called a bridge of syllables. If a letter has a Shadda, it means there are actually two of that letters. So for example, this tabba, it can also be written like this. It sounds the same. See, ta, fatha, ba, sukoon, and then another ba, and the alif fatha. This is same as this, right? There is practically no difference between this and this. They're both the same. This is also tabba and this is also tabba. So what it means is there are actually two of that letter. So there are two bars here. There's only one bar and then another bar. But in Shadda, we minimize it and only make it one bar. It's understood that there are two bars in that letter. A letter with Shadda will always have some other vowel on top or underneath. Shadda in itself will never be seen in any letter. It will just be a bridge. It's just a bridge. It doesn't have a sound on its own. It doesn't make any particular sound. It's just another vowel that comes after it. Shadda is a bridge between two vowels, two syllables. So it comes. There'll always be a vowel on top or underneath it. Sometimes the vowel is written on top or underneath the shadda, not the letter. Now this is an interesting thing. Look, this is Noon Ba Ya Nabi Nabi Yin Nabi Yi. Okay, let's make it Nabi Yi. Now here there is Noon Fatha, this symbol, Ba Kasra, this is also simple. The problem comes with this Ya. Ya we know is Ba and Ya together. Okay, that we understood. That's syllable type 3. But over here we see that the Fatha, or what seems like a Fatha here, is actually below the Shadda. This means that this is not actually a Fatha. Usually a Fatha will be down, right? It will be somewhere here. This will be the Fatha, somewhere here. But not in the Arabic alphabet. In the Arabic alphabet, when the Shadda comes, we'll take this Kasra and put it beneath it. So if the same line is on top of Shadda, it will be a Fatha. But if it's below Shadda, it will become a Kasra. Even if it's not below the letter. This is wrong. This red color thing I drew here is wrong. It's not considered a Kasra because it's underneath the alphabet. When there is a Shadda, you cannot put anything underneath the alphabet. It will either be underneath the Shadda or above the Shadda. Okay, so this below this is actually Kasra. It's not Fatha. Even if it's above the letter, it's actually Kasra because there's a Shadda and it's below the Shadda. So if a vowel is below the Shadda and still above the letter, that means it's a Kasra, not a Fatha. Okay, so this will be Nabi Yi. Nabi Yi. So you can see there is a Kasra. It's not a Fatha, it's a Kasra. Alright, so we have learned about Shadda. Now let's do some practice before we move on to the rare symbols. Because rare symbols are quite rare. Ba, Dhamma, Bu, syllable type 1. Dal, Shadda is there, so we can see that it's syllable type 3. Bud, yes, Bud. But then there is Shadda, so on top of it there's another vowel, which is a Fatha. Now this syllable type 1. Buddha, Buddha. Then there is Ha, Fatha, Ha. Ba, it's a Shadda, so we can tell syllable type 3. Hab. Then there is Dhamma, Bu, Habbu. Sheen, Fatha, Sha, Ra, Shar, Ra, Kasra, Ri, Shar, Ri. So we can easily see syllable type 1 and syllable type 2. Now all these are only with 2 letters, right? These are all simple ones. Now let's go with multiple letters. So first we see is Seen, Kasra, Jeen. Okay, till here is what? Syllable type 3. Zij, Zij. Now there is Jim and then there is Alif. So this will become syllable type 2. Over here is a classic example of syllable type 3 and 2 coming together because of the Shadda. That's why we know the Shadda is a bridge, right? So Sijja, Sijja. Now Ra is simple. Ra, Fatha, Ra. Ta marbuta is a special ta. Ta marbuta, Ti. And ta marbuta kasra, Ti. Ta marbuta kasra, Ti. Sijjarati, Sijjarati. Now here, Ha, Ba, Fatha. So Hab, Ba, Fatha, Ba, Habba. Syllable type 3 and type 1, quite senior. Zal and Alif. So this is syllable type 2. Za, Habbaza, Habbaza. Now Ta, Fatha, Ta. Sheen, Dal. So Shad, syllable type 3. So this is syllable type 1 and syllable type 3. Tashad, Da, Fatha, Da. Tashadda. Dal, Fatha, syllable type 1. Da. Tashaddada. 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 So we are putting special emphasis on the dal here because it has a shadda, right? Tashaddada. Okay, so now again I want you to pause this video and go through this on your own with your own voice and tell it out loud. It's important that we tell all this out loud so it stays imprinted in your head. Now I'll do this 2 more times and then we'll move on to the rare syllables, okay? And this will be fast. So you should stop the video right now and try to see how much you have grasped of this concept. Now, ba, dhamma, bu, dal, bud, dal, fatha, da, buddha, ha, fatha, ba, hab, ba, dhamma, bu, habbu, sheen, fatha, ra, shar, ra, kasra, ri, sharri, sin, kasra, jim, sij, jim, alif, ja, sijja, ra, fatha, ra, sijjara, ta, kasrati, sijjarati, ha, fatha, ba, hab, ba, fatha, ba, habba, zal, alif, ذا, حبذا, تا, فتحة, تا, شين, دال, فتحة, شد, تشد, دال, فتحة, تشد, دال, فتحة, تشدد. Now one more time. بال, ضمة, دال, بد, دال, فتحة, دا, بد, ح, فتحة, با, حب, با, ضمة, بو, حبو, شين, فتحة, را, شر, را, كسرة, ري, شري, سين, كسرة, جيم, سج, جيم, ألف, جاء, سجاء, را, فتحة, را, سجارة, تا, كسرة, تي, سجارتي, ح, با, فتحة, حب, با, فتحة, با, حبة, ذال, ألف, ذا, حبذا, تا, فتحة, تا, شين, دال, فتحة, شد, تشد, دال, فتحة, دا, تشد, دال, فتحة, دا, تشد. So this was a fast version and I hope you saw how many different syllables each of these words use. Okay, pay attention to the syllables. That's why we learned these words. The syllables are very important. Now we'll move on to the rare syllables. Now we are back in the place of rare syllables. Now rare syllables are of 3 types. We see that there is consonant, a vowel, and then 2 consonants together. That's strange because consecutive consonants are not allowed in Arabic, remember? Then there is a consonant, a long vowel, and then another consonant. Okay, then there is a consonant, a long vowel, and again 2 consonants. So this is basically 4, the syllable 4, except that there is a long vowel, right? So let's see how each of them play out. The last 3 syllables are rare because they involve 2 consecutive consonants. 2 consecutive consonants, lot of words. So let's dig deeper. Consecutive means that they are consonants that come one after the other. So they are the alphabets that come together. Now this is not allowed in Arabic, right? We cannot have 2 same syllables in the Arabic alphabet. This will not be allowed in Arabic. That's why it's called rare. If it's rare, that means it's not allowed. It's breaking the rules. Sometimes we have to break rules in the Arabic alphabet. And that's why there will be 2 consecutive syllables. There will be 2 consecutive consonants. Not syllables, consonants. There will be 2 consecutive consonants. Now, how will this sound? So as you can see here, there is Dad and Fatha. Dad and Fatha is Da. Ra, thereby is blank. Now previously we had learned that whatever is blank means there is a sukun on top, right? So Dar, Da, Fatha, Ra, sukun, Dar. But then there's Ba after it. And this is also having a sukun because it's blank. Blank letter means there's a sukun on top. So how will this be pronounced? Darb. Darb. See, it will just be the consonant sound. There won't be any vowel. Darb. So we see that when there are 2 consecutive consonants, then the sound is not very clear. It's just darb. we don't have fatha, kasra or dhamma. The only way this can be possible is if there is sukoon. So that's why this is called rare. The only way this rare syllable can happen is when there is sukoon on two letters. Alright? So when there is a sukoon on two letters, this will happen. Now then there is syllable type 5, which is a consonant, a long vowel, and then another consonant. So it's Jim, which is a consonant, and then Alif. Ja. We know this means Ja. Till here it's syllable type through. But then there is Ba, and it's blank. Blank letter means it's a sukoon. Sometimes a blank letter is sukoon, especially if it comes at the end. We learned that. So Jab, Jab. It's just the consonant sound. Can you hear that? It's not Jaba or Jabi or Jabu. It's just Jabu. It's a consonant sound. It's not a vowel sound. Now syllable type 6. Syllable type 6. Consonant, long vowel, and two consecutive consonants. One more. This will happen because of the Shadda. We learned Shadda Symbol just earlier in this video. So it's Sheen, Fatha, and then Alif. So it's Sha, Zal, Shadda means, yeah, it's a sukoon. So Shaz. Till here is syllable type 5. But now comes the syllable type 6. So there will be a Fatha or Kasra on top. This will make it Shaza. Shaza. So we see that the difference is that over here there is no need of a shadda because it's already sukoon. Two sukoons are enough. But over here there's a need of shadda because it's the same letter. Shadda only comes when there's the same letter. Over here there are two different letters, but over here it's the same letter. So that's the difference between syllable type 4 and type 6. Other than the long vowel and the short vowel which they use, they also have different requirements for the two consecutive consonants that come after it. This syllable type 6 will have only zal, means it will have only one syllable. This one has two consecutive things. This has only one consonant and this has two consonants that come one after the other. So this is the difference between the 6 and the 4. And of course the syllable type 5 is very different because it already has a long vowel with it. Now if you look at all these rare syllables, we see that these usually happen at the end of the word. See, Ra and Ba, they are both blank and it's the end of the word finished. Even here, Ba and Sukoon, which comes after a long vowel, it's at the end of the word. Similarly, over here also it's at the end of the word. So we see that the rare syllables almost always come at the end of the word. Usually come at the end of the word, means that they don't have to always come at the end of the word, but they usually come at the end of the word. Sometimes they can come in the middle and sometimes in the middle, but never in the beginning. Okay? Syllables, rare syllables can never come at the beginning of the word. They are usually in the end and sometimes very, very rarely in the middle of the word. So now we will look at some of the examples for the rare types. Dal, Alif. The till here syllable type 2. Now that there is Ba. And just imagine for a moment that the Shadda is not there, okay? This Shadda is not there. It's just a blank letter. Blank letter is Sukoon. So till here we will think it's syllable type 5, right? Dab. This is how it will sound, syllable type 5. Now then there is a Shadda and there is a Dhamma, which is essentially syllable type 1. So what we notice here is that syllable type 6 is actually the combination of syllable type 5 and syllable type 1. Let's say this again. Syllable type 6 is a combination of syllable type 5 and syllable type 1. Syllable type 6 is a combination of syllable type 5 and syllable type 1. And they are of course brought together by the small Shadda, which is known as a bridge. So you can see why Shadda is called a bridge, right? This is a very practical example to show you why Shadda is called a bridge. Now Sheen, Alif, Sha, Zal. Sukun, right? So just syllable type 5. Shaz. Shaz. Ain kasra pa. Ait. Ait. Ra sukun. Aitr. Ra sukun. Aitr. This is syllable type 4 because it has two different letters coming after it. Ra, Dhamma, Ru. Till here it's just syllable type 1, very easy. Mim, Alif, Ma. This is syllable type 2. Syllable type 2. Then after it we'll add Lam. So it will become Mal, Mal. This will be syllable type 5. Now with the Shadda it becomes syllable type 6. So with the Dhamma it is Rumalu, Rumalu. Now Jim and then there's Alif. Ja, Ra, Sukun, Jar. This is a very basic example of syllable type 5. Ha, Kasra, Ba, Hib, Lam, Sukun, Hibl. This is syllable type 4 because they are two consecutive consonants coming after one another. Now again, I'll ask you to pause this video so that you can do this exercise on your own. Remember, unless you tell this loudly to yourself and find out your own mistakes, you won't know what's wrong with it. You won't know how to pronounce it properly. So I urge you to pause this video and then come back to me after you have finished it. Try to do all this, identify each and every syllable in here. It's not always just syllable type 6. On the whole it is, yes, but break it down and you'll see syllable type 2 and syllable type 1 like we saw here. Okay, now so you better pause this video and go through everything, all pronunciation, keep in check pronunciation, syllables, because that's what we are learning now, and this is, as you know, is the last we're ever going to learn. After this we're not going to be learning about syllables, so we're going to continue forward. So it's best that you stop right now and go through each of them all, even the smallest syllables. Break it down. Don't look at it as a whole word, look at it at each letter and break it down. Even this, see, Dal Fatha, forget the Alif. Dal Fatha, that's syllable type 1. So like this you need to break down each and every small letter of the word, and you can find the syllables they all have, because all letters have syllables that are in a word. All letters in a word have syllables. Alright, now I'll do this 2 more times and this will be very quick because I expect you to stop the video and come back to it. Dal, Alif, Da, Ba, Shadda, so it's essentially Sukun. Dab, now there's Shadda, so it's Dhamma. Dabu, Dabu. Sheen, Alif, Sha, Zal, Sukun. Shaz, Shaz. That's how it sounds. Shaz. Ain, Kasra, Pa. Ait. Ra, Sukun, Ait. Ra, Dhamma, Ru. Mim, Alif, Lam, Sukun. Mal. Lot of letters I know, but you can do it. Rumal. Lam, Dhamma, Lu. Rumalu. Jim, Alif, Ja, Ra, Sukun. R. Jar. Ha, Kasra, Ba. Hib. Lam, Sukun. Hibl. Now one more time. This will be even more faster. Dal, Alif, Da, Ba, Sukun, Bu, Da, Bu. Shin, Alif, Sha, Zal, Shaz. Ain, Kasra, Pa, Aitr, Ra, Sukun, Aitr. Ra, Dhamma, Ru. Mim, Mim, La, Alif, Lam. Mal, Rumal. Then there is Dhamma, so Rumalu. Jim, Alif, Ra, Sukun, Jar. Ha, Kasra, Ba, Hib, Lam, Sukun, Hibl. So with that we conclude our lesson for today. This was the final lesson for Arabic syllables. With this we have completed all 6 syllables in the Arabic alphabets, and now we'll be continuing and completing the rest of the alphabets that you have left. So I hope this video was beneficial to you. If there are any questions, please be sure to comment them below. I'll try my best to answer them. And if you like this video, please hit the thumbs up button, share to this channel and subscribe.